see the 10-year age advantage for young Arreola. 28 is very young for the heavyweight division. He's from Riverside, California. A height advantage of 2.5 inches for Jameel McCline. An arm length advantage measured for the armpit to the end of the fist of 1.5 inches for McCline. Arreola weighs about 10 pounds more than his people wanted him to weigh at 255. McCline says he was retired after a November bout with Mike Mullo, was talked into coming back for this paycheck, and weighs 271. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Jameel McCline-Chris Arreola fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules that you see on your screen. Jim, real quick, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, let's go to Michael Buffer now for the official introductions.
Let's get this party started from the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas. 12 rounds of boxing for the NABF Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing burgundy and officially weighing in at 271 pounds. His professional record, 39 victories, including 23 knockouts, 9 defeats with 3 bouts even. From West Palm Beach, Florida, by way of Harlem, New York, Jameel Big Time McCline. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, official weight 255 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 26 fights, 26 victories, including 23 knockouts. From Riverside, California, the undefeated NABF heavyweight champion, Cristobal the Nightmare Arreola.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, right here is good, anything below is low. Right here is good, anything below is low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
McCline told us that he's going to fight like the Klitschko's, using his big jab primarily. Arreola says he's got to convince him right from the bell that he made a wrong decision by coming back.
McCline looks a little soft in there, coming off of what he said had been a retirement following his win over Mike Mullo in November. But then Arreola looks a little soft in there also. Both are pretty big hitters. McCline knocked Sam Peter down 3 times last year in what ultimately turned out to be a decision loss. Arreola got in trouble against Travis Walker in his last fight, but rescued himself with a big punching, dynamic knockout.
All of Jameel McCline's fights, he always starts off very good, and seems somewhere halfway through the fight he loses his concentration or whatever, and that is what he said he would not do today. But you know, he has a good chin, so it's going to be a very interesting test for Arreola to see if he can knock out Jameel McCline. At this stage, nobody said that.
It's interesting that Arreola has been going to the body. You can practically bury his glove inside of McCline's jelly belly.
Both guys look a little soft, but I don't think that either one will ever be winning any muscle man contest. It's just the way they're built, and they will always be that way, I think. But at this stage, both fighters are doing exactly what they said they would do. Jameel said he was going to settle down and relax and try to use his left jab, much like he saw Latimer Klitschko do, and not get engaged in too many exchanges. And Arreola said he's going to come out and try to get respect by trying to hurt McCline early in the fight.
Arreola had a pretty good amateur career, Emmanuel, as a light heavyweight. Says that he did not expect to become a heavyweight fighter. Here he is at 255. Is this an entirely different style of fighting, a whole different enterprise than that which he was involved in as a light heavyweight, and what he would have thought he might have done as a professional in weight class type boxing?
Yeah, he was, as an amateur, he was a gangly guy. He was tall at 6'3", fighting at 178 pounds when he was a national champion. But right now his weight is filled out like a lot of guys as they get older, and he seems to be handling it pretty good, even though I think he could be maybe 10 pounds lighter, but he's a big man. He's going to be a big man all of his life.
And he fights with reckless abandon, and he has punching power in both hands. And already there have been a couple of facial expressions from McCline in the first round that suggest that he is interested and maybe surprised by Arreola's punching power.
This is the way American heavyweights are expected to fight.
Let him go.
Working behind the jab, okay? Get that jab, double, triple, working the jab. All right? Keep the head and waist moving just as you are. Good job. Awa. Here. Good round, under control, okay? Good round, under control.
Okay, don't drop your head in front of this guy. Don't bend over in front of him, all right? Keep giving him a chance, man. Keep stepping around, all right? You got a 12-round fight, okay?
Yes, sir.
Keep stepping around. Don't get to banging with this guy.
Here we say Chris Arreola land a right hand, and what was so beautiful about the right hand, Jameel McCline had his hands up and he went between the gloves, landed a picture-perfect right hand. And here we see him coming back later on with another right hand.
Those two landed upstairs. Overall, Arreola was 18 of 31 by CompuBox count in round one, and you'll note that's over 50%. McCline was 7 of 37. 8 of Arreola's 18 connects were body shots.
Stop.
Sending the gloves into that jelly belly region in the middle of McCline. Larry, you finished the last round by saying this is the way American heavyweights are expected to fight. Elaborate.
Well, all the top American heavyweights, the ones the public has taken to, are guys who have some ability to capture your attention. You know, aside from Ali, almost all of them were aggressive fighters who could take a punch and are willing to go out there and do this, right what Arreola is doing now.
Well, you know, really, we're saying that to America, but really think about it. Further, it's none of the heavyweights too much out here for the most part are coming out aggressive. Most of the guys that are top fighters are really technical, laid-back fighters. Outside of probably Vitaly Klitschko, who's an aggressive guy. So it's just refreshing to see any heavyweights that come out and try to be aggressive and be intense and throw power punches.
Well, the European heavyweights, you know, are guys who stand up, have good jabs, they're good fighters, but they don't do this kind of thing.
No. McCline's cornerman, Stacey McKinney, told him to keep it in a boxing zone, to not bend in too much, not to bend down, to utilize his height, but he can't do that. Arreola is crowding him.
Arreola continues to land his right hand with regularity. He's landed several right crosses in the first two rounds. You saw him slip in a good right hand uppercut there moments ago.
He's not a power punching heavyweight. He's a combination punching heavyweight, which is rare these days. Good strong puncher, not a power puncher who's likely to take you out with one big shot early in a fight.
Let him up, stop.
Nobody might take you out with 3 or 4 big shots early in a fight.
Exactly. None of his last 6 fights over 2 years have gone past 3 rounds.
There's a lot of power punches thrown this fight so far, just for 2 rounds for a heavyweight fight.
He's already got McCline in a defensive mode.
Exactly.
More interested in self-preservation right this moment.
Exactly. He has already succeeded in making McCline look as though he's here to last as long as he can. Tuesday, Real Sports profiles Phillies manager and World Series winner Charlie Manuel. Manuel has overcome great odds and personal challenges to reach the top of his profession.
You got to watch your holding. Yes. Okay. You got it. When I tell you to break.
You got it. Use the jab, Jameel. Put your shot straight down the center, okay?
There you go. Whatever you're doing. Don't be careless. Keep moving the head away. Good job.
Come on, come on.
Right. Good job. Okay.
Good tell.
You ain't got nothing else trying to jab. You're trying to walk into the right hand. So good job, okay?
Here we see Arreola land another right hand. And all of those punches he's landing are very short. He's getting very close. He's not throwing any punches from long distance where he could get out of position. And he's cried Jameel, and Jameel doesn't have time to protect himself.